रेकी वन नाबू हमारा नाम है विनोद लाल फैंटम रेडियो फीजी 2 हम लोग बहुत लाइक करता हुआ ये सुनता है
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Yanavanaka, Fiji. In this bulletin, banks await directives on COVID-19 assistance. Housing Authority to strengthen policies. And businesses bounce back after fire.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
With a budget announcement tonight, the Association of Banks hopes there will be more discussions on how banks can help businesses severely affected by the pandemic. The association continues encouraging those who can to keep up with payments because interest will accrue for deferments. Koroi Tandolala reports.
Association President Saud Minam is hopeful there will be an announcement from banks and regulators on how to support customers in need.
I did have a meeting with a lot of our customers. They are all worried. I think we as individuals across, we all should be worried about what's going to happen, how fast we can get out of this. And these are the questions which everyone has. And I think that's the question which we need to answer. And the only way to answer is that we work together.
The relief has been given by the banks, but how long that lasts, we'll know. So the survey basically is stating the obvious, which everybody talks about, is how we're going to control our and how we're going to expenses and how we're going to keep afloat. Because keeping afloat is very important for especially SMEs.
Suva Retailers Association President Vinay Kumar says members have been advised to be innovative and find alternatives to get through this pandemic.
We cannot rely on the government to do everything for us. We also have to start thinking out of ordinary and start doing things, which you can see it's happening already. You know, there are people opening up, selling from the streets, things like that. There's a lot of things that never happened before.
For everyone to understand exactly that at the end of the day, banks will charge interest and banks will ask the customers to pay back the principal amount as well.
Without knowing for certain how long COVID-19 will continue to affect our economy, Minam says it is crucial for the government, public and private sector to work together to overcome this crisis. Koroi Tandolala, FBC News.
Internal processes at the Housing Authority are being strengthened to weed out corrupt practices. As part of its preliminary investigation, the authority had referred certain homeowners and at least 8 staff to FICAC. Its alleged buyers gave false information to acquire lots and staff facilitated applications based on fake information. While the audit and inquiry is expected to end in 2 months, the authority board chair Lorraine Sito says further action will also be taken on the findings.
What we will do is that we will go through the process as to that they've been waiting for so long, why they've been waiting, why maybe somebody came ahead of them in the queue and all that, and then the application forms would identify the persons who are involved, whether internally here, and if it's 10 years, it'd probably be maybe an ex-staff or current staff and all that, and that will be given to the relevant authorities to address.
About 10 tailoring businesses are back on their feet after a fire destroyed the Suva flea market 2 months ago. Kelton Investments Limited was able to create new space for vendors who are slowly picking up the pieces. Apinisa Wangarandovo reports most of them received support from family and fellow vendors who were not affected.
It wasn't easy for Ritesh Lal to see his hard work go up in smoke, but he vowed to get back on his feet. It's already coming true.
My damage was 12,000. I have 4 machines and with the stocks. I'm happy that they give me a space here.
Banmati, who also lost her assets to the fire, has since started working for Sanjit Kumar, a fellow vendor who's helping her to earn some income.
Sometimes I just cut the cotton and help him to put on the buttons and all those things just to earn my living.
She's here with me because how everything is bent at the back.
Most of these vendors have applied for micro, small and medium enterprise loans from the government and are awaiting results. Aware of the budget announcement, most of them said they want to see the price of basic food items reduced. Apinisa Wangarandobu, FBC News.
All basic processes and farming techniques need to be followed to meet international market requirement for Cava. National Export Market Systems Facilitator Navi Tui Vuniwai says a commercial industry needs to be developed. He adds through the industry, everyone will have an idea of the international standards. Tuivuniwai says a new level of research on Cava will be introduced, with increasing number of people going back to farms.
With the rising level of players entering the market, in future we will continue to grow in the level of sophistication in terms of the research behind Cava will be further enhanced.
The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji will continue to prioritise the safety of those that rely on shipping services come the next financial year. Transport Minister Fayaz Koya says MSAF has taken a positive step in improving certain aspects of its services that will guarantee customer satisfaction. He adds sea transport is an important lifeline in Fiji, connecting our maritime islands to urban centres, and must be regulated effectively and efficiently.
Small initiatives like this support the government plans in modernising the maritime sector and requiring greater commitment to service delivery. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, MSAF is important, and it's to ensure that maritime users meet all safety standards and its services are provided in an efficient manner that comply with regulatory requirements.
Motor vehicle dealer Asco Motors anticipates increased spending by the government to help stimulate the economy. Chief Executive Craig Sims, who says while he has no specific expectations in the budget tonight, he is mindful that COVID-19 continues to take its toll on our economy. Sims says the best we can do is to hope for the best and continue to work and support the government in this difficult time.
So no predictions from me. Let's see. Of course, we all understand the impact to no tourism for the economy, and let's see what happens. There will probably, I guess, be some aid. There'll be some tightening of the belt by the government, and hopefully there's some increased spending to stimulate the economy.
Coming up, family bubbles to be removed at sporting activities, and veteran players named in Fiji Pearl's extended squad.
Bula FM number 2 and seri.
Strict measures will now be put in place by the Fiji National Sports Commission following what transpired at the Vodafone Premier League match on Wednesday night between Ba and Lautoka. One of them is the removal of family bubbles at sporting activities. Aquila Dhama reports.
Sitting together with your family members at sporting events will not be allowed effective immediately.
We're going to have to put in place very strict rules to make sure what happened in Lautoka doesn't happen again. So we will not be encouraging any more bubbles.
The Ministry of Health acknowledges the reaction of relevant authorities last night as physical distancing was not followed.
I'd like to commend the Fiji police force who were out at Churchill Park last night enforcing the COVID-safe measures. In particular, this is the physical distancing between attendees at that football match. I know this is a new, everyone is adjusting to a new normal in Fiji.
The match had to be halted for about 10 minutes as fans were asked to move out of the stadium and re-enter so proper seating and social distancing could be followed.
They had large groups of 12 and over people sitting in one bubble. So Fiji Football requested them to move and to socially distance, and they refused. So it was Fiji Football themselves that called in the police.
The Fiji FA says they'll make sure this does not happen again in the future.
We are committed to strictly follow the guidelines mapped out by the government, and of course, as part of our submission to the Sports Commission for accreditation, we have ensured that we will ensure this is followed.
1,700 patrons, players and officials attended the match last night, which was below the 50% capacity of 1,850. Aquila Dhama, FBC Sports.
National veteran netball players including Nina Dirikisuva and Vaiti Wangatambu have been named in the Fiji Pearls extended squad. The duo is joined by goal shooter Una Rauluni, Alessi Paul, Alisi Nangiri and Ana Rusivakula. Netball Fiji Secretary Lucy Rokora says the inclusion of the veteran players adds depth to the squad.
Yes, our valuable veteran players, they're working just as hard, and we know with them being in the squad, we we can allow them to gel in with the younger up-and-coming under 21 squad members.
The 2020 Skipper Cup competition will be a memorable year for Suva captain Sireli Lendua. The stocky 33-year-old has decided to hang up his boots after more than a decade representing unions like Tailevu and Suva. Known as a fearless front rower, Lendua has decided to retire and take up coaching. Age has caught up with the tough hooker turned prop, and now Lendua says it is now time to give way to the younger players to showcase their talent.
Age is catching up. I've been playing since 18 years old, and I think I've played against some of my teammates. If I remember wrong, I play with them, Sunya Koto and Kelly Leweri, and I've decided to retire from rugby, and I think it's also a good time to give young players a shot.
A quick look at today's weather map. It is Friday, the 17th of July. Expect cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Fine elsewhere. Can also expect a cool night with moderate easterly winds and moderate seas. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.